So in this video, we're just going to discuss a little bit about HeirList and also what some of the plans are in the future. This is a one-page infographic that's actually available on the HeirList.com website. You'll see it in lots of other places as well, but this sort of is a summary for the application, but we're more going to use this to talk about some of the plans in the future. So as you can see, it's a PDF. So we walk through the problem, how the IDRS was a cornerstone in solving it, how there's a free mobile application, there's also the knowledge base. And then here we have examples of the core features, group exclusions, progress, and that's using the questions, progress and status, navigation, help resources, that's in the form of the YouTube videos and also the FAQs. Then we talk about some of the premium benefits, collaboration, the user notes, the detailed reporting, and also the support. Then we talk about the knowledge base, more than 60 documents with more than 550 pages, talking about how you go do this stuff. And again, we encourage people, if you're actually working on a deceased account, we do think the knowledge base is worthwhile. If you're just recording your own HeirList values for the future, for your spouse or your children, for when you pass away, it might not be worth the investment. So we don't want to have people buy things from us that may or may not be of value. We think that premium, if you're working on a deceased account or you're collaborating, is absolutely worthwhile. We think the knowledge bases as well, but if we want to encourage everybody to use the free service, so they don't have to keep paying us, they don't have to pay us at all, just for when in the future that you do have somebody working on your deceased account, that they actually have the benefit of your having completed everything. And that's one of the reasons we made it free. All right, so now at the bottom, we talk about the future. So the IDRS is going to be continually updated at least once a year, if not multiple times. So they'll be adding new questions, we'll be adding new item numbers, we'll be flushing out some of the item numbers where there's only a singular value now, things like buried at sea. There's a process around that, but we didn't feel for our first release that we wanted to go tackle things like that were obscure, just like head freezing, cryogenics and that. So in those cases, there's only one IDRS item number. They might be blown out to 3, 4, 5, 6. In other cases, there'll be things that we missed. We have 100 different options. We think there's more. We don't think there's 300 or 400, but we do think there's 150 to 200, and over time we'll be identifying those. One of the other things, and this will be further in the future, we're going to add both the English-speaking countries and then also Brazil as far as new countries, which we intend to have variants for the International Deceased Resolution Standards. We first wanted to refine the United States and get out there and get the adoption, and also getting feedback from people in those countries with respect to what are the differences between what you do, say, in England or Canada versus the United States. There's big differences in law and for agencies, whether they be provincial or counties in some of these other countries. And so we first wanted to focus on getting the refinement correct and also the adoption for the IDRS with respect to the United States. So under premium in the future, a couple things that we're going to be looking at is having dates and priorities in there, so you can assign people and assign dates to different items of actions. We also are going to have voice recorded notes in the future. Not sure when the next release is going to come out to have these. These are not as big a priority as the next things that I'm going to talk about. So for the knowledge base, probably our key priority, other than ensuring that everything is correct, are what we call the state sheets. So the state sheets essentially look at each one of the 50 United States, and we look at them and look at what are the differences in laws, what are the differences in any kind of rules, what are the right government agencies to contact, what are the differences in benefits. So the goal is, if you were working on a deceased person in Missouri, there would be a consolidated sheet for Missouri that would walk you through by question, by item of, okay, these are the places where there are differences, this for this state, Missouri, this is what you need to do. We think this is a huge value to our users and just in general, and that is sort of our primary focus with what we're going to do next, other than the refinement and adoption of what we've already put out there. The second thing that also is a big priority, we're looking to coordinate with religious leaders and try and get an official version of, given the structure of the IDRS and given the things, especially around burial and areas like that, that have religious leaders to provide structured guidance on, this is what needs to be done here per our religion. Here's the source. We're going to have them put it on their own letterhead versus our own if we can. So that way, high on our list of things to do is to not tell people what their religion should tell them to do. And we're going to let the leaders from their own religion provide them guidance or provide them qualified guidance and say, hey, under this sect, this is what we do. Others might be different. Please consult them. Or, hey, this is what we normally do, though other things are accepted. So the state sheets and the official religious guidance are our two next priorities with respect to what we want to do and where our focus is. Thank you very much, and that's an overview of the